In conducting historical research, we as historians have the privilege of learning the intimate details of lives of people from the past. We read private letters between friends and lovers. We discover detailed classified ads in small community newspapers, and we even look through people's diaries. In doing so, we encounter personal moments in people's lives, and for those of us who tend to be a bit nosy, this can be fun. But of course, as historians, we do this snooping for more than just fun. When we search through these first-hand accounts of people's lives, we work toward answering one of the ultimate questions in history. Why did people make the choices they did? We're searching for the motives behind a person's decisions, and in order to truly find them, we must attempt to see the world through this person's eyes. We must understand their experiences, the historical context of their lives, and the perspectives they've gained as a result. While our own perspectives and biases inevitably influence our understanding, any honest attempt at understanding another person's motives requires that we at least strive to suspend our own perspectives, if only temporarily. In a sense, what we're doing here is practicing a kind of empathy. This empathy, of course, becomes incredibly complex as soon as we begin to explore the lives of individuals whom we identify as perpetrators of horrific acts. It's these perpetrators that I'd like to speak about today, though I'd also like to acknowledge that their victims and the people beyond the confines of these roles deserve examination and empathy as well. When we try to empathize with perpetrators, a slew of difficult questions arises. How can we empathize with someone who made decisions that we regard as fundamentally wrong? Does doing so require that we suspend any kind of moral judgment? Should we even try to empathize with such a person? It's so much more comfortable and so much easier to simply write some people off as beyond the reaches of our empathy. After all, to empathize with someone whose actions we view as wrong, in other words, to imagine being in a situation where we might make the same harmful decision, requires us to connect with darker places that exist inside ourselves. To do so, we have to step far beyond the bounds of our own experiences and stretch or even abandon the morals and values by which we define ourselves, if only for a moment. But I think that trying to empathize with perpetrators, as we do in history and as challenging as it can be, serves a purpose. It helps us understand ourselves as humans, both in the past and present. We'd all like to imagine that if placed in horrific circumstances, we'd be saints, heroes, and martyrs. But history is full of atrocities, and atrocities don't just happen on their own. Humans cause atrocities. Throughout history, we as humans have proven ourselves to be capable of committing horrific acts. Confronting this reality and grappling with its consequences through trying to understand and empathize with perpetrators provides us insight into the human condition. We can use this insight to inform the present. But practicing empathy in this way also serves a second, more uplifting purpose. The commonality between all atrocities is often the perpetrator's absence of empathy for their victims. If we could somehow retroactively insert more empathy into the past, I don't think the same atrocities would have occurred. Empathy is the antidote to atrocity. And as historians, as scholars who have looked atrocity in the eye and challenged ourselves to understand and to empathize even with perpetrators, we have trained ourselves to become overall more empathetic. We can carry our strengthened ability to empathize into all aspects of our lives. We can heighten the empathy in this world, and we all know that the world can use a little more of it. At the University of Washington, every one of us has taken a different approach to studying history. We focused on distinct periods and regions of the world, and each of us has taken away different messages from our classes and research. But as we move forward today and our paths diverge a little further, we nonetheless share at least one quality. We can all carry our history educations onward by bringing the empathy we've developed into the rest of our lives. Thanks.